Hey everybody,
Hey.
it's good to be back. It's been a long time since we've done a video together, I know. But we are going to go through our trek kind of on a day-by-day basis. So today, we're not going to start with day one, we're going to start with day zero.
Yes.
Because we're going to count the first day that we actually hiked someplace as our day one.
Yes.
This is actually 2 day zeros because one of them was transportation day of just flying, and then the next day was kind of our tour of Kathmandu, which was pretty cool. So we're going to talk about that first, and then we're going to march through and do every day of the trek as we go.
Yeah.
So make sure you like and subscribe, because that way you'll be able to see all of this stuff as we go through. And if you're planning on a trip like this or something, you'll be able to see like exactly what you can expect on the trip.
Yeah.
So cool. First things first, we left the Atlanta airport and we flew up to New York City and went and spent the night. Yeah, we spent the night with my son Josh, which was nice, and I'm sure you'll see a picture of him here. The next morning we took off and we flew from New York City to Doha, Qatar, to a absolutely lovely airport, just beautiful place.
Yes, and it was 12.
Yeah, it was about 12 hours, something around that.
Yeah, 12
So
hours.
it was a long flight.
Yes.
And then we had a few hour layover, and then we flew from Doha to Kathmandu, and we arrived in the afternoon in Kathmandu.
And it was
the
5
next day.
hours. Yeah.
5 hours.
It was 5 hours to
Right.
Kathmandu. And so for us, it felt like 3 days.
Right.
Of
Yeah,
travel.
it was. It was less than that, but you know, with the actual time change and everything, we left on like the 8th and got there on the 10th, or left on the 6th and got there on the 8th.
Yeah.
Whatever day it was. I think it was the 6th to the 8th.
It was a long,
It was a long trip.
Yes, to get
Thank you to Josh for at least giving us a bed, because at least we got to sleep in a bed for
that
one
was
of those
nice.
nights.
We had a few hours sleep, so that was good in a bed.
Cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, when we got there, we were greeted very kindly. We were actually given some marigolds, as the picture will show. That's a very traditional greeting gift from the Nepali.
I thought that was a nice touch.
It was.
That was very nice.
Yeah. So Suman picked us up at the airport. He's awesome.
Amazing.
We miss you, Suman.
We had such a good time with him.
He's a lot of fun. He's a riot. So
Yeah.
if you're traveling, you should definitely like make him be your guide or something like that, or
Yeah,
at least hook up with him. So
He was great.
anyway, he and a driver. There's kind of like, I don't know. It's sort of like Uber-ish. They just call drivers and they come and pick you up. But we went through.
We were so happy to have a driver. Usually when we do these things, John's like, "Oh, we'll figure out how to get there." You know, no, do not chance that. Do not do it. Do not try to
This was
rent.
without a doubt the craziest driving ever.
Yes.
I mean, I've heard Cairo's ridiculous, but this has got to compete with Cairo.
This was the DR on steroids. It
just watch the video that we're rolling here. You'll see. It's insane.
Yeah. We had been traveling for all that time, and then we get there and they, put the marigolds on us and it's like, get in the car, and they stuff all our suitcases in there, and then
Which
we
barely
go,
fit. It barely
and
fit.
We're just, trying to take this all in, and it was a ride.
Yeah,
it was
pretty
definitely a ride.
overwhelming. But anyway, after a while, we got to the Tamil district, which is kind of the western district where all the mountain climbing stuff is, and you can buy all the fake gear and all that. You can buy the real gear too if you want to. But anyway, we got to the Tamil district, and we went to the Skyline Hotel, where we were greeted by Deepak, who's the owner of Trekking Planner.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. And so anyway, he was busy, but Suman took us to a traditional Nepali dinner. It had dalbat, it had a lot of traditional foods. It kind of seemed a little like a touristy kind of place, because
it was everybody's greeting. It was everybody's welcome.
Right, it's kind of the welcome party. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and they had like dancing, and they had the yak dance. That was kind of the big
and they had a lot of. It was nice because John had a lot of, since he's vegetarian, there was a lot of food that they brought out that he could eat. There was definitely some that he could not eat that I tried because I'm not a vegetarian, and it was all very good, but it was so much food. I mean, it was so much food.
We had to stop them because they just kept bringing it out.
Yes.
But I will say, if you're a vegetarian or even a vegan, Nepal is a really good place to travel. It's very easy to eat on a vegetarian or vegan diet there.
And I ate as much meat as I could at that dinner, because I knew that from that point on I wasn't getting anything else.
Yep,
So
it was going to be that way.
yeah.
So anyway, after that dinner, we went home and just completely collapsed because, whoa, it was a lot of travel.
Yeah.
And, we were completely overwhelmed in a new place and everything. So we woke up bright and early the next morning, I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that, and met Raj, who took us on a guided tour of the Kathmandu area. And we kind of hit all the, the big highlights. This would be the equivalent of like the Empire State Building and the Statue of Liberty in New York, like stuff that you have to go see for the first time.
Yeah.
So the first place we went to, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, is the Swayambhunath Temple, or Swayambhu Temple. There you go. It's more commonly known as the Monkey Temple, and you'll definitely see from the pictures because there's monkeys everywhere at this temple. And apparently you have to be a little bit careful because actually not at the temple, but remember when we were at that other place and they kind of got aggressive with us? There was like that pack of them. So they can become pretty mean if you aren't careful.
You want to touch them.
Right. They seem really cute and their babies are like this big.
Yeah,
but,
you keep your distance a little bit.
I wouldn't be caught with food around them either because I have a feeling they get aggressive with that too. Yeah. Anyway, the Monkey Temple is a Buddhist temple. Buddhism and Hinduism are the two primary religions there, with some Muslim religion too. Did not see any evidence of Christianity. But anyway, so in the northern part of Nepal, which is the mountainous part, which is where we're going to go trekking, it's primarily Buddhist. In the southern and central parts, it's more Hindu based, and I guess about 80% of the population is Hindu. But anyway, this temple is Buddhist, up on top of a very high hill, absolutely gorgeous. Lots of stairs. Of course, there's stairs because we were just getting ready for our trek.
Lots of
and
stairs.
lots of shrines, lots of Buddhas, amazing views. I'm sure again you're going to see all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So the next stop we went to was the Patan district, which is kind of the old city of Nepal. And that's quite amazing. It all these wooden structures, very, very ornately carved, absolutely beautiful. Some museum stuff inside, and you're allowed to walk around in a lot of these places that you normally would not be allowed to be in. Like, in a Western country, they would like block it all off and they wouldn't let you in. But here they let you into a lot of places. It was amazing
the way that they let you in, and they let you touch things and be very interactive with it. And I mean, it wasn't all in great shape, and there was a lot of reconstruction going on and things like that, but you were really able to get down into it. So
it was very cool. We really enjoyed the Patan district. It was quite lovely, and a lot of very beautiful artwork in kind of a museum setting, plus the architecture itself is absolutely gorgeous.
They did make you take your shoes off at some points. Remember those times? So you would get to some stairs and there would just be like dozens and dozens of just shoes thrown everywhere. You just like kicked them off and
it's more of a religious thing, both for Buddhists and for Hindu. Shoes off is kind of the norm. So after that we went to what's called Little Tibet, or the Bodnath Stupa. It's it's a very large stupa, as the pictures will show. Absolutely huge. It takes quite a while to walk around it. It's got prayer wheels all around the outside. It's absolutely beautiful. But it's called Little Tibet because when China invaded Tibet in I think it's 1959. I hope I'm remembering that right. The Tibetan people had to flee, and so they settled in that area around the temple in Kathmandu itself. A lot of absolutely beautiful paintings, mandalas, and other things. We ended up purchasing a mandala while we were there. So,
we got to go in and watch how they're actually done and how they're painted and how long it takes to do it.
And the detail and the symbolism. It's so anyway, we're very happy. That was our sort of piece of art from our trip, and we're really happy with it. It's absolutely beautiful.
This was also our first time getting to go into a monastery where the monks were actually practicing I guess is what you would call it, and in those you did not get to film, so we may have walking up to it gotten a little bit of the sounds maybe that we'll put here, but you weren't able to take cameras or anything while the monks were in there. I actually I recorded a little bit while we were walking down the stairs. So we were outside the temple, but you can hear the singing and everything. So anyway, we'll put a little bit of that. Very impressive. The detail on everything just amazed me.
So for our finale for the day, towards sunset, Raj had this all timed out right because we ended up.
He was great.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Thank you, Raj.
Yes.
We sat kind of up on an eastern slope of this. Oh gosh, I gotta say it now. Pashupadinath Temple.
You see, I'm not even trying.
Yeah. Pashupati or Pashupadinath, depending on how you want to say it. But anyway, that temple.
Yes, I kept all the brochures from.
She did, and it's really good. And it's the largest Hindu temple in Nepal, and I think perhaps anywhere except for India itself.
It was amazing.
So, yeah, it was amazingly huge. It's a World Heritage Site. It's kind of like not roped off, but there's like defining areas, and so it's considered a World Heritage Site. It's absolutely amazing. We were not allowed into the primary temple area because that's for Hindus only, but we could see amazing things, including like cremation going on, because that's a traditional thing, is that on the riverfront there are sort of crematoria slabs where they stack wood and they burn dead bodies. So
yeah, and it was here that we actually got to take the picture with the Holy Man.
Yes, with the Holy Man, yeah,
with the Holy Man. And this is something that they were in traditional wear, and they were sitting there, and our Raj told us that for a fee they would let you take your picture with them, and of course we paid, and it was really funny because we paid, and then when we got done he wanted more,
right?
And Raj and we gave him a little bit more, and then he wanted more, and Raj was like no, so our guide was really good about there was a lot of people who would ask for money and things like that, and the milk baby
yes
was definitely a thing. So
if you've traveled in the world, that's a common theme that everybody's looking for money, which happened from place to place. It wasn't that bad though.
No, it wasn't as bad as.
But it was nice having people who knew what they were doing to kind of put a stop to things, and that was one of those. But anyway, with I think Swami, I think that's the right name. Anyway, I'm sorry, I apologize, but pretty cool, right? You can see with like the painting and everything there.
But being there above, kind of sitting above the river, above the temple at sunset, and watching the crematory, watching these different sections of stone be burned was
it was
very
kind of
special. Surreal. It was
and it was kind of nice too to actually sit down, because we'd been kind of going all day.
And the traffic between these points is just like you get in the car and it's like a Born Identity movie or something. It's just like and so thank goodness we had somebody to help us get to those places. So.
And then at the end of the day, we went back to the Tamil district, to where our hotel is, and my sister had suggested we go to a place called Fire and Ice Pizza, which is right at the edge of the Tamil district, and that was a good suggestion because it was really nice to get some delicious pizza. I know, we should have been eating dalbat, but believe me, we got plenty of that on the trek. It was really nice to have kind of a Western style meal, and while we were there, the power went out, so we got the full thing. It was like
I think when we went back at the end of the trip, it went out again.
Yeah, it's just seemed to be kind of a
just
a
happened
thing. Right.
Yeah.
And then the end of the whole day, because we had to leave insanely early, we'll kind of leave it for next time, but we had a special trip on day one instead of like the standard airplane to Lukla from Kathmandu. But we had to very quickly go in and unpack all of our stuff, because we had it in suitcases, and then pack it all into these duffel bags that our porters were going to carry, plus the stuff that we were going to carry in our day packs. So it was this crazy like packing, repacking thing. So that was the end of day zero. It was it was a lot of stuff to take in.
We were exhausted before we even started.
Right. So by the time we got to day one, we were already pooped. The good part about the rest of the trek was it was pretty straightforward at that point. It was just walk. So that's all you had to do. So I think Kathmandu was the most kind of overwhelming day, just in terms of the amount of stuff that we had to deal with.
Yeah.
So anyway, stay tuned. We'll definitely be doing each one days 1 through 18 or 19 or however many it was. So many days. Some will be longer than others. But anyway, definitely like and subscribe, and you'll be able to watch and follow along with us and live vicariously through our adventures. Yes. Cool. All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.